Hi everybody. Well, it's been kind of a quiet week for me here the last several days. I did a lot of uploads last week, and I also had a lot of headaches. So I just kind of took a little time to relax, and in addition to the other things you got to do, you know, the grown-up adult stuff, you got to take care of business and stuff. Apart from that, I was just trying to relax a little bit and work on some projects. And I felt pretty good. I had a pretty good week. And here I am. I'm determined to do my Friday vlog at the very least, always. And I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. So I'm going to do this real quick so that maybe, you know, I can get it and get in under the wire and then go take some pills and relax. And watch some movies. Because, Friday is monster movie night or horror movie night. But before I, get into that, I just wanted to say thank you in return for a nice little thank you card I got from my friend Faith. Just sharing some things that I've got in the way of, darkling culture and so, I really appreciate the card, Faith. Thank you very much. Well, anyway, this week is Ghoul Week. Okay? Can you stand it? To start off, we're going back to the silent era again. It's been a little while since I've done a silent film on my Friday nights. And this is a film of particular note. Now, realistically, this film has nothing to do with ghouls, but it does have a sort of ghoulish atmosphere about it. It's entitled The Man Who Laughs, and it is about, a child who's the victim of these horrible, terrible people who mutilated children to sell to the sideshows and carnivals as freaks. And this particular child was mutilated in such a way as to give him a permanent grimace, a permanent smile, if you will. And he grows up and becomes a character who, again, travels around from town to town in a sort of carnival outfit, community of carnies, if you will, and, makes his living by appearing as a clown. And no one has any idea, of course, that this fellow can't help but do anything but smile, this hideous smile, even as sad as his life ultimately gets to be in various moments. He's got this smile plastered on his face. It's a very poetic film. Probably the only reason it belongs in the realm of horror films is because of the horrible nature of these people who mutilate children. But otherwise, it's more of a kind of a social commentary and a love story. It's a beautiful film, and I'm very, very keen on it. So are my other online friends. Hans is very keen on it, and also formerly known as Brody over on MySpace. She was very, very keen on that film as well. So it's a beautiful film. Now, this film, yet again, here's an instance where two films have a relationship. This film is from the 1960s by horror director William Castle, and as you can see, it's entitled Mr. Sardonicus. And it's about a ghoul. It's about a man who, for various reasons, finds himself in a position where he has to dig up his father's corpse because something of importance was left on it. He was buried with it in his pockets, and it's a very tense and important situation that he get his hands on this article. So he digs up the father's grave, and through various amazing and cryptic events, finds himself scared to the point where his face freezes into this horrible grimace. And there are no pictures on this for me to show. Maybe I can find an insert. But it is very much, I feel, and a lot of people feel, very much influenced by The Man Who Laughs in terms of the makeup design of this count with a horrible grimace. And the story basically entails his trying to convince a noted doctor to help him remove this grimace from his face so that he could, not be so hideous to people. And of course, it's another instance of a man who has a hideous appearance who, as a result, goes on to do hideous things, because the guy was not a bad man before this happened to him. But the disfigurement warped his character to the point where he became a bad man. So, anyway, it's a wonderful old film, black and white, very moody, atmospheric. I'm very keen on it. Okay, are you ready? In closing, I'm going to watch one of the 3 movies made about the most famous ghoul of them all, and this guy won't even wait until you're dead to eat you. My favorite of the 3, all 3 have something to recommend them, but you're probably aware of what I'm going to hold up here now, but it is, of course, Silence of the Lambs. And the ghoul of which we speak is Dr. Hannibal Lecter, as played by Anthony Hopkins. Brilliantly, I might say. What an amazing horror icon. And, well, the books themselves are fascinating. But this film, Silence of the Lambs, is actually an instance where the movie is at once very close to the book, but also improves upon the book in certain suspenseful ways. Much as it can be said Dolores Claiborne does. There were some plot devices that were contrived by the filmmaker, which once Stephen King saw it said, geez, I wish I had thought of that. I should have done that. So, I mean, there are instances where the movie can actually improve somewhat on the literary source. Well, who doesn't know about Hannibal, huh? Do I have to sit here and go on and on about? Just fascinating. Fascinating portrayal, an amalgam of many different serial killers in real life. And just, gosh, it's just on the edge of your seat. Wonderful. And oh, by the way, I'm not talking to you, and I'm not talking to you. I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to the guy behind you, Jonathan Demme, okay? Are you listening? It's a fucking horror movie. The guy eats people. Jeez, it's a crime drama. It's a mystery. It's a goddamn horror movie. Jeez. And it won all sorts of Oscars too. That is so cool. Anyway, yeah, I like the film a lot. It's got a lot going for it. Very strong female character, very heroic, very intelligent. It's just a very finely crafted film. Very fond of it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. I'll help you catch him, Clarice. Brave Clarice. You will tell me when those lambs stop screaming, won't you? Ready when you are, Sergeant Pembray.
Well, those are the movies for tonight. Thanks a lot for joining me. Thanks for joining me every week. I really appreciate you guys watching. It's great. And I'll be seeing you soon, okay? Have a great weekend.